Okay, morning everybody. Thank you for joining today. I hope you're well, hope you're feeling well this morning, and hopefully you will set yourself up for a nice day ahead with a little bit of movement on this nice morning today. So please take a comfortable seat. This can be whatever you would like it to be, either with your ankles loosely crossed like I am, or you might like to sit on your shins. If you need any additional support, a cushion or a bolster or similar, please feel free to grab that now and make sure that you are in a position that is comfortable and that you're happy to maintain without fidgeting too much for the next few minutes. Good, and so once you have found whatever position that is going to be, please make sure that you're sat evenly, so both of your sit bones equally supported by the ground or whatever it is that you're sat on, and then place your hands either side of your hips. Sitting up nice and tall, straightening your spine, breathing in, raising your left arm, and as you breathe out, reaching up and over towards your right hand side. If you like, you can walk your right hand away from you as well. A big stretch over towards your right, making sure that that left hip doesn't hike up. So getting a good stretch down the left side of your waist. Inhale to come back up. And then exhale, let's do that over on the other side. So reaching up and over towards your left, walking that left hand away from you. If you wish, just to deepen that stretch, making sure that you don't put any undue stress onto your neck. So you can either look straight ahead or down towards the floor. So no discomfort in the neck, please. Good, inhale to come back up. And then we'll do a few more of these. But now we're going to make this a little bit more dynamic. So let's begin. Inhale, raise your left arm. And exhale, reach over. Inhale, back to center. So it's quite quick, this. Short breaths. And then moving according to the rhythm of your breath. So bending your spine from side to side. Just a few more times. Nice and easy. Good, coming back to center, resetting your position if you need to, relaxing the shoulders. And then once again, taking a deep breath in. As you breathe out, turn over towards your right. So you might want to place your right hand behind you, using your left hand as a bit of a lever. You can also place it onto your knee, and then gently turning your torso over towards your right. So try not to overcrane your neck here. So direct your gaze over your right shoulder, but without over rotating. So initiate that twist, if you will, from your belly button. And then use the breath to help you access this a little more deeply. So breathe in to lengthen your spine. And as you breathe out, twist a little bit further. But make sure that your hips don't move, so keep them firmly planted on the floor, and then twist your upper body over towards your right hand side. Good, inhale, come back to center, same thing other side. So place your left hand behind you, a ruler's length or so. Place your right hand on top of your left knee, breathing in to lengthen. And exhale, twist. So from the belly button and then all the way up to the crown of your head. But simply let the head follow. So we're twisting from the rib cage and the head is following. So directing your gaze over your left shoulder this time. Just holding that a little bit longer. And once again, deep breath in. Lengthening up and breathing out. Twisting a little bit further here. And on your next inhale, coming back forwards. And then shaking it out, just shrugging the shoulders a few times. Good. If you are sitting cross-legged, I recommend making that sort of diamond shape of your legs a little bit bigger. If you're not sitting cross-legged already, I do recommend that you find this position now. So loosely crossing the ankles, letting the knees fall out to the side. And then placing your hands out in front of you, probably on the fingertips. Come back a little bit here so you can see. So little teepee tense with your fingertips, and then walk your hands forward. Walk them forward as far as you can without lifting up your hips, from the floor. And once you've found that edge, so that point beyond which you would have to lift your bottom to come forward a little bit more, allow your head to come down. So it doesn't matter how far away from the floor you are. So it might be that you're light years away. It might be that your forehead is almost touching the ground. Wherever it is that you find yourself, you should feel a nice stretch in the outside of your thigh, sort of the outside of the hip here, from having your legs in that cross-legged shape. And depending on how you're feeling today, this might be quite a strong sensation. So unless it is an acute, sharp pain that would be a red flag for you to back off, I invite you to stay with this sensation a little bit longer. Perhaps closing the eyes if you wish. Breathing deeply in and out through your nose. Allowing the body to settle into this position, even though it may potentially be a challenging one and a little bit uncomfortable this morning, especially if you got up not too long ago. Body might still be feeling stiff from a night's sleep. And then on your next breath in, slowly walking your hands back up. Good, super well done. Stretch your legs out in front of you, give them a little shake. Good. And then coming back into your cross-legged seat or on your shins, the choice is yours. Briefly resting your hands on top of the knees here for a second. And then I'll show you the next exercise we're going to do. So that will be one for your shoulders, loosening up the shoulders. And of course, when we're cycling, especially those of you who've got a bike with drop bars, where you're in a really hunched over position, over time, that can really take its toll on your shoulders. So I do very much recommend that as part of your ongoing maintenance, so to speak, you do a few exercises for your shoulders to keep them in a good position. So let's begin. Stretch your arms out in front of you. I'll try and show you this one slightly from the side. So stretch your arms out in front of you, palms facing each other. And please be mindful so as to not hunch your shoulders up towards your ears. So keep them nice and relaxed. And then you've got a few options here, depending on how flexible you're feeling. So number one, you can simply give yourself a really tight hug. So you might be able to potentially grab the sort of inner ridge of your shoulder blades here. Yeah, so giving yourself a really big squeeze. So if that is mild for you, you can try the next variation. So once again, arms stretched out in front of you. Thread your right arm over your left, bending your right elbow. And this might be plenty, so making sure you lift your elbows up. Or potentially, you might be able to bend both of your elbows, bring the backs of your hands together, or maybe even your palms, coming into a full bind. So choose your variation. So either giving yourself a really tight hug, stretching the arm out and threading them, but keeping the bottom arm straight, or potentially bending both your elbows, coming into the bind. Do not let your elbows drop, so keep them lifted. You can think of a few key actions here as follows. So relaxing your shoulders, pushing your forearms away from you, and keeping your elbows up. You should feel a really strong stretch across the back of the shoulder here. And again, if this is a strong sensation for you, see if you can ease yourself into it by breathing deeply. Once again, perhaps closing the eyes if you wish. Deep breaths in and out of the nose, staying with that sensation. And then perhaps just very gently lifting and lowering your elbows here, just an inch or so. and see how that changes the sensation. Please be mindful here, this is a big stretch for most of us across the back of the shoulder. Again, if you got up not too long ago, this might feel even more intense right now as the body's not fully awake yet. So please give yourself that time. And release. Well done. Take a moment here to feel the difference. And if it feels nice, maybe just rolling your shoulders a few times here, just intuitively taking it back and around, releasing any residual tension you might still be holding. And then let's do the same on the other side. I'll show you this from here. So once again, you've got 3 options to choose for, and it may absolutely be that both sides of the body feel different. So please do not force yourself into a position that fundamentally the body doesn't appreciate. So reach your arms out in front of you, and then this time threading your arms the opposite way. Once again, either grabbing your shoulder blades, giving yourself a really big hug, but do not let the elbows drop here. And if this is a mild for you and you are a little bit more flexible, you can once again try experimenting with that bind. Whoops, this way around now. So threading your left arm over the right, and then either keeping your top arm stretched out ahead, bringing the backs of the palms together, or maybe even your palms here coming into the full eagle bind, as it's called, or Garudasana for those of you with a more established yoga practice. And then again, remind yourself of your key actions here. So keeping the shoulders relaxed, pushing the forearms away from you, keeping the elbows up, and then breathing deeply, drawing out your out breath in particular. And then once again, gently lifting and lowering your elbows here, just an inch or so, really small movement. And release. Super well done. Shake it out. And then let's come down onto the floor to slowly start winding down here. So lie down on your back with your knees bent. Step your feet hip distance apart. If you are on a yoga mat, you can step your feet to the outer edge of your mat. If you're on the floor, you can use your hips as a reference point and then step your feet a little bit wider still. But keep them parallel, so make sure that all 10 toes are pointing forwards. Let your arms rest beside you, maybe with the palms turned up today. And then as you breathe in and breathe out, drop your knees over to your right hand side. Inhale back to center and exhale over to the left. It's a little bit like windscreen wipers, we could say. Continuing with that movement, so dropping your knees from side to side, effectively turning your lower back as you go along. Just a couple more times, nice and easy. It's a good way to gently mobilize your hips. And next time you're over on your right hand side, stay there. So dropping the knees over to your right hand side, letting them come down towards the floor. If it's comfortable, and this is completely optional, you can place your right ankle on top of your left knee to weigh that left thigh down a little bit more. You'll potentially feel quite a strong stretch in your left thigh. So again, please be mindful with this. And allow your body to settle into this position. This might take a few moments here. So bring yourself back to your breathing, checking in. It's very easy to forget to breathe when you do this type of exercise, especially if it does feel a little bit uncomfortable in the body. So please do bring yourself back, check in every once in a while, make sure that you're still breathing regularly. It's very important. Good, and then you can untangle the legs if you went with that option. Breathe in, bring your knees back up, and breathe out, drop them over to the left. Stay as you are, or again, if this is available to you, place your left ankle on top of the right knee now, just to weigh that right leg down more. And we'll stay in this position for just a few more moments here. Good, release the leg now. Bring your knees back up. And then let your knees fall together, but step your feet out to the side. Close your eyes. So we'll take just a short rest here with the knees bent, or if you prefer, you can stretch your legs out in front of you, whatever feels good to you at this moment in time. If you haven't done so already, please allow the eyes to close here, just taking a really quick break from the world of looking and seeing before we embark into our day. Just taking a few moments to yourself here. Acknowledging whatever it is that may come to mind at this point in time. Taking a few more breaths. Let's see if you can make the breath a little deeper here. So breathing into your belly. And as you breathe out, and then gently bringing yourself out of this position. So you've got a couple of options here. You can either roll over onto your right hand side into that recovery position and then bringing yourself up to sitting. Or if you're feeling energetic today and you'd like to give your spine a little massage, you can also bring your knees into your chest, put your hands behind your knees, and then slowly start rocking forwards and backwards until you've gained enough momentum to come up to sitting. So let's meet one another once again in a easy cross-legged position. And there we are again. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the short practice. Have a lovely day. I hope you enjoy a lovely bank holiday. And I look forward to seeing you next week at the same time. Thank you very much.